112 years later, the echoes of the Italian Hall disaster still haunt Michigan's Copper Country. We're not just recounting a historical event, we're peeling back layers of a chilling injustice. Was it a tragic accident or a calculated act of violence against striking miners and their families? Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about this forgotten American tragedy. Imagine this: Christmas Eve, 1913, in Calumet, Michigan. The air is frigid, but inside the Italian Hall, it's filled with a rare warmth. Hundreds of striking copper miners and their families have gathered for a Christmas party, a brief escape from the bitter, 5-month-long strike against the Calumet and Hecla Mining Company. The children are excited, waiting for Santa to hand out presents. There's music, laughter, a moment of joy in a time of hardship. Then, a single word shatters the peace. Someone, standing at the top of a steep, narrow staircase, shouts, "Fire!" Panic erupts. In an instant, the festive atmosphere turns into a scene of pure terror. The crowd surges toward the only exit they know, that same narrow staircase. But there's a problem. The doors at the bottom of the stairs open inward. As people push from behind, they create a human wall, a crush of bodies pressed against doors that won't budge. The weight of the crowd is immense, inescapable. The screams of joy are replaced by screams of horror. In the chaos and the crush, 73 people lost their lives. 59 of them were children. It's a number that's hard to even comprehend. And the most gut-wrenching part? There was no fire, not a single flame. It was a false alarm that led to one of the deadliest stampedes in American history. So, the question that has haunted this community for over a century is, who shouted fire? And why? Was it a tragic, thoughtless prank? Or was it something far more sinister? Let's look at the context. The 1913 to 1914 Copper Country strike was brutal. The Western Federation of Miners was fighting for better wages, shorter workdays, and recognition of the union. The mining companies, backed by the powerful Citizens Alliance, a group of local businessmen and anti-union figures, were determined to break the strike. Tensions were at a breaking point. Strikebreakers, known as scabs, were brought in, and violence was common on the picket lines. In this volatile environment, many of the striking miners and their supporters immediately pointed fingers at the Citizens Alliance. They believed the cry of fire was a deliberate act of union-busting terrorism, designed to create chaos and terrorize the striking families. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a man wearing a Citizens Alliance button at the doorway. But despite these claims, no one was ever convicted. An official inquest was held, but it concluded that the identity of the person who shouted was unknown. The cause of the tragedy was officially ruled an accident, but for the families of the victims, and for many historians, that conclusion has never sat right. How could something so devastating be left unsolved? The design of the staircase, with its inward opening doors, was a clear fire code violation, yet no one was held accountable for that either. The tragedy became a rallying cry for the miners, but it also broke their spirit. The strike fizzled out a few months later, a major defeat for the union. The Italian Hall itself stood as a grim monument for decades, a constant reminder of that awful Christmas Eve. It was eventually demolished in 1984, but a memorial archway, preserving the doorway where the stampede occurred, now stands in its place. The names of all 73 victims are inscribed there, a permanent testament to the lives cut short. The story of the Italian Hall disaster is more than just a historical event. It's a chilling story about class conflict, the struggle for workers' rights, and a community torn apart. It's a mystery that, officially, remains unsolved. But whether it was a random act or a calculated attack, the result was the same. 73 innocent people, mostly children, went to a Christmas party and never came home. Their memory demands that we never forget what happened in Calumet on Christmas Eve, 1913. Thank you for joining us to uncover this piece of forgotten history.